welcome back to the Tea and a Butty podcast. I'm Dominic.
I'm Erica.
And today we're doing part 3 of our great Scottish journey.
Yes, we're still traveling through Scotland.
The final part, it's Edinburgh.
Yeah. I hope we can fit Edinburgh into one part.
Yeah, it was just a quick fly-by-night trip. It was quite
How long were we there, actually?
A night.
No. 2 nights at least.
2 nights.
Yeah.
We fit quite a lot into 2 nights. I can't remember. Yeah, because I was like trying to look at it. And I was just like, oh, what did we do? And trying to think about stuff that we'd done. And we packed quite a lot into the first day, as I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got in there. First of all, we left Ullapool. Where we left you in part 2 was in Ullapool.
Yeah.
And we left Ullapool by bus. We went back to Inverness for
Enjoyed the scenes
again.
It did start to rain, though.
Did start to rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is an island. And it's crazy rain.
Yeah.
So we stopped at Inverness for to wait for our bus to
Edinburgh.
It was a few hours.
Yeah.
We went to eat at this mall.
Yeah.
And it was kind of I don't know, what did you get? I can't remember now. I think I got curry and chips or something. I did.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
Did you get fish and chips?
You got fish and chips.
Okay.
I got curry. I think.
Something, yeah.
It was some kind of curry.
And chips.
Curry and chips. Well, you got to get chips with everything.
Oh, you got some sort of wrap.
Wasn't it
that's
a wrap? It was a wrap.
Yeah.
It was maybe a chicken tikka wrap.
Yeah, they had a fancy little food court in this tiniest little mall. The cutest little mall you've ever seen.
A range of restaurants, and you ordered from the table.
Mm-hmm.
And you could order ordered from the table on an app. You just scanned the app and then it gave you the menu.
Yeah.
And you paid, like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got this chicken tikka wrap, I think it was, and chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm.
I liked it, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had fish and chips.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
It was good for mall food.
We ate it, we just kind of
we chilled out for a bit.
Chilled out.
Yeah, it was good to chill out for a bit because...
Did a bit of work, I think. And then just caught the bus on
admin.
To Edinburgh, yeah. It was raining. It was...
The bus we got to Edinburgh was an older double-decker bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, with an older, grumpier driver, I remember.
Oh. We got the top seat again, in the front row again.
In the front, yeah, and so... it was this old... It was definitely an older model.
Yeah, it wasn't as luxurious as the previous buses.
No, I mean, that's the thing. So it was a little bit rickety as we went.
It wasn't bad, though.
It wasn't bad. We got to go down the other side of Scotland, down to Edinburgh.
Oh my god, pulling into Edinburgh, though.
Yes, I got that on here. You were squeezing my knees.
And it pisses me off to remember it, because we didn't ever get back to that point. We didn't, we saw as we were pulling in. He took us this roundabout way. I don't even know. It was a bit, I think we both got a little bit confused, because he sort of made made a circle into the bus.
I think he went to Perth. Yeah. Oh, yeah, in Edinburgh.
The way he pulled into Edinburgh, it's we kind of went through and then back around. We went
across the bridge, and we saw the Forth Bridge, which is the famous railway bridge across the Firth of Forth.
Say that 10 times.
Firth of Forth, inlet to Edinburgh from the North Sea,
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the Iron Islands.
The Iron Islands. I was going to say the Irish Sea, but I was no, Ireland isn't on the east coast of Scotland. And so we, you see most of the cruise ships harboured out there,
Mm.
They've just come into the Firth of Forth and just
Firth of Forth.
Firth of Forth. And the Forth Bridge is this rusty kind of rust iron. It's very Scottish to me. Every time I saw the Forth Bridge, I was yeah, it's Scotland.
Yeah, I think I was getting sleepy at that point or something, and you were we've backed up a little bit. He wanted to talk about the bridges before we actually got into Edinburgh.
Yeah.
See, I had forgotten about the bridges.
Well, it was just the one bridge, yeah. But...
I think I was starting to get sleepy. You're like, oh no, you have to see the bridges. Oh, this is the bridge.
Yeah, you were kind of starting to get sleepy because
this is the bridge here. Yeah, because I was trying to stay awake the rest of the time because the scenery was just so
I woke
epic.
you up to show you the unicorns, though, didn't I?
What?
Oh, you didn't see the unicorns? You were asleep?
I do not know what you...
Yeah, we saw unicorns. It's a national animal of Scotland.
Oh, yeah, we just saw them running through the... the forbidden forest there.
And then we saw you definitely saw the rainbow, because it was like raining on and off, and then the sun was shining, and then it was raining again, and we saw this massive, really bright coloured rainbow, and we went right through it.
Just ending right in the road in front of us. I was like, we're gonna go right through it.
So you see the rainbow, you were like, we're gonna go right through it. Like that's the classic bit of the line. I wish I'd got that on camera.
It just looked so good. It looked so magical.
Gonna go right through it. And then we went right through it, and what happened?
Well, we kept missing it, didn't we? We would keep turning, or it would disappear, and then it would reappear a bit further down again. So. Yeah,
it was that rainbow. I'll tell you that now. Trying to get me. Always got me.
But so we left the scenes.
We left the scenes.
And there was the first
scenes of the Highlands.
The fourth of Firth of Forth?
Firth of Forth.
Oh, Jesus. But there's also like 3 other bridges, aren't there?
There's a few other bridges, yeah. There's a road bridge.
Because you're like, look. And I'm like, there's 12 bridges here. I don't know which one you're wanting me to look at.
Well, the one that looks like a rusty, kind of like, it looks like a cool bridge, it's like a suspension bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, every time I saw that bridge, and we went across it on going up to the Highlands on,
That's how
train.
You knew you were in Scotland, is it?
That to me, like, every time I see that image... But you're already in
Scotland before you get to that bridge.
Yeah, you are, but
it's not like you're not like crossing that bridge from England and suddenly you're in Scotland. But to me,
that's very Scottish, that bridge. It's an iconic landmark.
Yeah.
But yeah, I showed you that, and then we went through, like, winding. I said, we're just going to come into Edinburgh via the back way or whatever,
Yeah.
But then you just woke up and you were like, squeezing my knee and looking, and... Because there was more scenes.
I don't know what that area is. It's like the old town, is it?
It's like part of the old town, yeah.
But just the way we came in there, it was just the most beautiful. And I don't think I got a picture of it.
I know you were too busy looking at it, that's why.
I don't know why. And I was like, we have to come back here so I can get a picture.
Well, it was kind of on the motorway.
I don't know, yeah.
It was kind of like the entrance to the city.
As I said, the bus driver, the way he, like, pulled into the city was so, like, I don't know.
Well, we're coming in it from the north part. Yeah,
we just got turned around. We got turned around. So once we came out of the bus station, we were just like, okay, how do we get back to that area? Not sure.
I was kind of like, oh no, that's nothing. Edinburgh, you got to come and
you were like, oh, we can come back to it, but we didn't. We didn't go back.
We could come back to it, but it's like, to me, it was nothing compared to what Edinburgh has on offer.
No, it was something though. It was something.
Maybe it was where the rainbow ended.
But also, it was the time of day that we were getting there, too. It was kind of like we were getting there in the very late afternoon.
Very late afternoon. We thought, we'll just walk from the bus station now. You didn't want to take the tram for the...
Did we go check in first? Or did we go to the hotel and check in?
I wanted to, but you kept wanting to stop and... Because I was like, we have all our stuff with us. Well, we didn't have suitcases, but I was carrying a big duffel
bulky bag.
Bulky bag that annoyed me. I don't like carrying things. I mean, I don't mind them when it's like, we're going...
He's easily frustrated.
It was just like, I want to be free. I want to be untethered and unbothered by stuff. It's like my uncle says, like, I'd love to travel, just the clothes I'm in, passport in my pocket.
No, I can never do that.
Phone with all the cash or whatever.
I'm not super high maintenance, but no, traveling in just the clothes I have on, I think not.
And a toothbrush. And it's just like, I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it was rainy-ish, but
we should have
it was
employed
golden
a guy
hour.
called
That's
Simpkins, and he can carry our bags for us.
it was golden hour anyway. So everything was. I mean, you couldn't find somewhere to look that wasn't just absolutely breathtaking. It was the most absurd thing.
You were just like, well, oh, look it up. And I was like, I just wanted to kind of like put this back. Get this bag in the hotel, checked in.
Yeah, but it was
why is that there?
But it was like, it's getting dark and it's rainy. It's like, I kind of want to see a bit on the way there, you know. It was, it was annoying carrying our bags, but it was just so, and then you remember, like, the sun kind of went down, but it was so cloudy. The city was just in silhouette.
Yeah.
And the sky was like a violet. It was and
no,
it was just
some
like,
of the best,
and all the buildings were just black. It looked like a freaking, I don't know, one of those like paintings or drawings where everything's just black, but then you see
the background. It's like a colourful kind of like layered background.
Yeah, it just looks fake.
I maintain, right, some of the best sunsets in the world, right, and you know, are in Scotland. And my grandmother said it too. It's like, oh, up in Ullapool, best sunset in the world.
Yeah.
Some of the sunsets up there. And I mean, you know, in summertime, they must look fantastic, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The sun never sets in the summertime, does it?
Well, that's true, yeah. But she always... And I've seen them when I was a kid, you know. It's like, oh, yeah, it's pretty
never comes up in the winter and never sets in the summer.
Pretty breathtaking coming down over the mountains or the hills and stuff, you know, over the water and stuff, you know, yeah. But yeah, we got into Edinburgh and we were walking down, it was raining, and I wanted to take the tram, and you were like, oh, the tram, oh, gotta get on the tram. I was like, it'll get us to a station. It wasn't going to get us to the hotel.
I just felt like there was no point because it wasn't going to get us very close to the hotel. We were still going to have to walk.
We were staying in the West End at this hotel called the Britannia Hotel.
Yeah, the location was not super ideal.
Yeah.
But for the price, it was fine.
And we went over like the bridge and stuff. There was like a bridge over this little river. That's where the hotel was. You know, we had to go up, kind of walk up this like incline.
Yeah.
And then come down this steep one.
Really steep.
After the bridge, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
then, I mean, Scotland is just hills.
You kind of went down this one big hill, and then you turned and had to go down again, down into the parking lot to get to the hotel. That was a
very steep hill.
Yeah.
And I was like, when we got there, we were like, oh, there's a busload of... This is like, it was, you know, the vibe was, this is a hotel for like the older people on tour.
Like retiree
type people, you know, like they're in their 70s, you know, and I was like, this is quite a way for them to walk out with again. And then I realised, oh, the second or third level of the hotel is like here.
Yeah.
The main entrance was
down this hill. No, we did not realise that soon enough.
We didn't realise it soon enough because we couldn't open the door wasn't open.
This hotel, you guys, used to be a travel lodge.
It used to be like a travel lodge, yeah.
It was huge. It was absolutely huge. It was maybe one of the biggest hotels I've ever been in. It was just went on and on and on. And I think that our room was like at the end of the universe. Wasn't that the hotel where we just kind of had to keep turning and keep turning and keep going?
Yeah, and it looked out on the front courtyard.
Yeah.
Because I remember looking down on the front courtyard on it.
Yeah.
Which was down at the very bottom of this very steep incline hill. And it was a twisty hill too. I mean, if you look at it like on Google Maps, the Britannia Hotel, it's over by the Belford Bridge in Edinburgh. Yeah. It's in the West End area. You might be able to see if you do like Google Maps. And
the area was fine. There was nothing wrong.
Gorgeous. Yeah. I mean, it was Edinburgh. West End is great.
The hotel itself was a little bit just like older, like kind of just run down, dated.
It was dated, and it was in need of a bit of.
It was fine.
It need a bit of TLC. You know?
Yeah. It was like a. Well, I was gonna say it was a no frills hotel, except for the fact that it did have a full buffet every morning that was included. Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't think, maybe it wasn't included. Maybe we just got it. Maybe it was a little bit extra, or was that a different place?
That was a different place.
Okay, so this one was included.
It was included
then,
because I remember looking at you going, "Is it?" Because she said to me, "Breakfast included," and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I looked at you because I think you'd booked it.
Yeah, but so she asked us breakfast included. Yeah, so there were some rooms where you didn't have to get the breakfast, but it was like literally a couple pounds more. I don't know why you would not get it.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying, it was a couple of pounds more. I was like, okay then, yeah, it looks quite a nice hotel, because we're used to staying in stuff like hostels.
Yeah.
Places in London that are just converted townhouses.
Yeah, little tiny places.
Little tiny rooms, and they're like, oh no, we don't use breakfast as Nando's and stuff.
Like homes that were transformed.
Yeah, like townhouses and
and
converted into like a hotel because it went up. They got, like,
so this was
stores.
like your regular standard kind of hotel, and yeah, there was like mostly older people there, so it was a little bit like, oh. I mean, that was great, though, because you don't really have to worry about, like, super noisy neighbors and stuff.
No, we didn't.
No.
And we were at the ends of the
There was no kind of, like, oh, you have to be a certain age or older to stay here.
Like, there's, like, saga holidays, that it's, like, for trips for the over 50s and retired people.
Yeah. It was just, like,
I don't know if
buses
saga
full
holidays
of them.
exists anymore, but yeah, there's buses full of them.
Apparently
how are they getting down here then?
Apparently they have
yeah.
Apparently they have a few locations around Scotland. Like it's a
chain.
It's a chain. I don't know if they're all called the Britannia, but they have like several different locations in some of the bigger cities around Scotland. So if you go to Scotland, it's a very good deal.
That's a very good deal.
It was full on English breakfast buffet and with like yogurt, fruit, toast, all the different kinds of juice.
Yogurt, fruit, toast, all the kinds of juice and tea and coffee and stuff. But it also had like, eggs, bacon, sausage, tatty scones, beans,
I think haggis.
Haggis.
Yeah, which I did not try
black
there.
Pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had all that kind of stuff. And and I thought, oh god,
mushrooms, tomatoes.
Load up on this to go out today.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
You had the eggs and you said, oh, the eggs aren't good.
When we went and checked in, we just stayed, didn't we? Or did we go back into the city from there?
I don't
think
the
night that we got there?
No,
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't. We decided, it's too, we'll just start out early tomorrow and do this. Because it was so, business,
because it was so kind of, I'm making it sound like it was really far out. It was not that far out.
It was a little bit of a walk.
But it wasn't like, boom, right in town. Like, we usually try to stay, like, if we can at all. Which is kind of why sometimes we end up staying in smaller, older, more, like, very basic kind of places. Because we try to stay, like, where the action is. So that we can, like, limit having to use transportation. Like, limit having to use transportation, like, just so we can just walk to as many places as as we need to. Just for convenience sake, So this was a little bit further out. Like, we could have got a taxi or whatever, but we didn't.
But we didn't. We could have got a bus. I guess there is a bus that went there. I think.
You didn't want to try to learn the bus.
I didn't want to try to learn the bus route. I wanted to go on the tram because that's a fairly new thing that they've redone in Edinburgh.
Yes, and we did. We did go on the tram.
Yes, I had to twist her arm because she was like, "Don't see the point in it. Oh, it's just going back and forth." And I was like, "Where's it coming from? Where's it going to?"
It wasn't really like there weren't really stops like getting us to anywhere that we wanted to be. Really, so it was just a little bit like. There's no need for us to ride the tram. You know what I mean? Like
it was the trams are cute. Okay? I mean, they're not like old-fashioned trams or anything. They're very kind of modern, and they go through the city. It was
basically like an above-ground subway.
Above-ground subway, yeah. But it had a little ding, ding.
Oh my God.
Like the old-fashioned bell of the tram. And every time I heard that, I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that. But the last time I was in Edinburgh was when I was a kid. And they didn't have them back then. Yeah. And I don't remember them. So I was like, oh, did they always have these?
No, I think we read somewhere.
It was like, it was 2008.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that.
It was something fairly recent.
Yeah.
because they were like, oh yeah, it's good way for, because it goes all the way out to the airport. And and then up to Leith, which is on the coast, basically where the Britannia is. The Royal Yacht Britannia, that is, not the hotel.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about, which we went to go
see.
There's
another big mall out there as well.
Yeah, that was something that was kind of an add-on. We were kind of thinking of, oh, it's raining, what do we want to go do now?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we could go out to see the Britannia.
Yeah.
You know? But we'll talk about that afterwards, you know.
I'm afraid we're running so long. This may end up being 2 parts, you guys. I hope you don't mind.
It's part 3. We'll do a part 4 maybe. But the next morning we had all the things at breakfast. You said the eggs weren't that great.
The eggs were not good.
Because I don't eat eggs, so she was like, oh.
The eggs were the only thing that I had that were not good, and I noticed a couple of other people left them on their plates as well. Like when they had finished
I thought you
eating.
said you heard someone go.
No, I just saw them leave the eggs, so I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what was not good about them, but they were not good, so...
They were scrambled, weren't they?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't real eggs they used. Maybe it was like powdered egg or something.
Something. I mean, I imagine so.
Yeah, they weren't good. I didn't eat them. The rest, everything else was fabulous. I did try the, what do you say? The tatty scone.
Yeah,
tatty scone.
Potato scone.
It was alright. It was kind of flavorless.
Yeah, it has to be eaten with, like, something else.
Yeah. You know? I didn't try the I was like, okay, in Scotland, I am going to find somewhere to try haggis.
Yeah.
And they did have haggis on the buffet there.
Haggis.
But I was a little bit iffy about trying it at, like, a hotel buffet.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe this won't be the best haggis I'll try, but I probably should have gone ahead and tried it. I did not.
Yeah, we ended up doing it. But we went out to...
We went into town
from there.
Yeah.
I think we walked most of the way. Yeah, I think we walked.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we definitely did. We hiked up that hill.
We hiked up the hill, around, and then down into town.
We had no choice. I mean, unless we got an Uber or something.
Thoroughfare and stuff. And the first place we ended up going to was St. Cuthbert's Kirkyard. Or churchyard.
Okay, refresh my memory what that was. You guys, we saw so many
We didn't
things.
go in there. It was just a...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We took video and stuff. I mean, it's coming on the Edinburgh vlog. I'll have to do an outro for that.
And you'll see it on our TikTok eventually when we get back to putting TikToks out again.
Yes. But it was quite an interesting thing. I almost slipped because it was rainy.
Yeah,
it was very rainy. And I had on these like, I'd worn these trainers out, you know, these sneakers out, and I just basically like it was like I had to like climb up this like hillock to get to these like catacomb kind of like.
There were a bunch of people gathered in one area in this, he says kirkyard. It's a churchyard for anybody who hadn't caught that.
Churchyard.
Like a graveyard around a very old church, sort of like in the middle-ish of town.
Yeah, it's right. You can see the castle from where it is, you know.
Sort of set down low. So if you've ever been to, like, Italy... where the Roman ruins the Roman ruins tend to be lower, obviously, in the ground than modern day streets and sidewalks and buildings and everything. This was the same. It was set down low. I don't know if it was always like that or if maybe everything in Edinburgh used to be down that level, you know, and it got built up over time or whatever, but so you had to go down a bunch of stairs to it. It was like a very densely packed with trees park-like churchyard, and there was a group of people off to the side, and they were all kind of gathered looking at these like something. They were. And I think I was filming or I was something, and Dominic was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go over there and see what there is, you know, if we need to go see it or what it is that
and
they're
I walked up the hill.
Yeah.
And I think it was when I was coming back to you. I almost slipped and bit it, you know, because it was so like muddy and stuff.
It was muddy,
and
yeah.
I couldn't get a grip with my shoes.
But I mean, anybody would have slipped in that mud, yeah.
I almost slipped, and a couple of people did, I think, going down the hill. A couple of people did go, oh, you know, like I did, you know. Well, and they were laughing.
It's all covered in leaves and just
covered
super
in leaves
muddy.
And super muddy and stuff. There wasn't too much.
I don't know what we still don't know what they were looking at. There was nothing.
It was just like a couple of tombs.
We Googled like, oh, is there
graves?
Is there anybody famous buried in here? Like maybe they were looking at somebody famous's grave or whatever. I think
they thought it was.
No, you said they were taking pictures of their kid with the.
Yeah.
Because there were like two like sort of like open tomb areas, and they had big skulls on the stage, skull and crossbones and stuff like that, and it was just very like...
They might have been plague victims or something, you know.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was just a very cool little cemetery.
We decided that we weren't going to pay to enter the castle, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think we were just going to go up and see it from the outside, and then...
Yeah. Well, the thing is all of these things take so much time to tour.
So long.
You know, so you end up getting to see more the fewer things you actually paid to go inside. I mean, obviously, like, if it means the world to you to see the inside of Edinburgh Castle, then do it, you know?
Yeah, if you want to see it, yeah.
But, like, we were on limited time. We just wanted to kind of walk and, like, see as many things as we possibly could. So, yeah, we were like, oh, well, you know, if we go inside the castle, we had already been inside Windsor this trip, so we were like, oh, that was our castle.
That was our castle for this trip. But, yeah, we went up.
Well, no, we went into the little church there first.
Oh, vaguely.
Yeah, and we were like looking around, and the guy wanted to know, you know, where we were from and stuff.
Oh, yes.
And Dominic said Austin, Texas, and the guy's like looking like, okay, with that accent, you know. Yeah. So one of our followers on Instagram was like, oh, does Dominic get looks when he tells people he's from Texas? And I was like, yes. I kept trying to get him to say, oh, well, he's from Wales, but blah, blah. And Dominic's like, they don't need to know, like, my entire history.
No, I mean, you know, I just said, where are you from? Oh, we're from Austin, Texas, you know. That's where we live now. Yeah. You know, it's like...
But anyway, yes. We decided we were not going to go into the castle then, but we wanted to go see the castle.
Yeah.
So then we had to figure out how to get there.
Yeah, and I remember as we kind of like walked out of the churchyard, and there was a woman there going, oh, you want to go to the castle? It's just up that street. And we were like, because there was a lot of people going, how do I get to the castle? Which way? And they were asking us as well. There was a couple of people going...
Several people asked us.
Which way? How do we get up there? And it's like, I need to get up there. You know? And I was like... I don't know.
Dominic was like, what is it about us that makes us look like we know how to get places?
And there was a person down by the churchyard who was directing people, if you want to get to the castle, go this way.
Yeah.
But we got to like the top of that hill, and there was people going, is this the steps to the castle? You know, is this it? And I was like, I have no idea.
Literally everyone was asking
so.
us. Yeah.
So just like, I'm just following everyone else, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, where the tour buses led off, you can see streams of people getting there, and they were going up Johnston Terrace and then up these steps, and I was like, oh, well, that's obviously to the castle.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
yeah, that's right. We kind of had to go, like, around, didn't we? Because we were like, how do we walked over one side, and it was like, oh, no, there's no way to get up there.
There was people going down steps, and they were like, is this the way? And I was like, no, up. You can't get to the castle going down.
Well, if you don't know anything about Edinburgh Castle is set on, like, a cliff, basically.
Yeah, it's on, like, a rock.
So it overlooks pretty much the entire city of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I guess I know there was a lot of, like, things over the years that J.K. Rowling has debunked as... being inspirations for this or inspirations for that, but I'm pretty sure Edinburgh Castle was an inspiration for Hogwarts, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, yes.
In that, it's it's up like that.
It's up. It's on a hill.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Highlands.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Edinburgh isn't in the Highlands. So.
Yeah. But then there's there's the castle on the edge, basically, of this cliff that overlooks the rest of the city. And then on the other side of the castle that's not on the side facing the cliff is more like Old Town? Is that what they call that?
There's the Old Town and then there's the New Town.
But the strip that comes down extends from the castle. What is that called?
The Royal Mile?
The Royal Mile.
Yeah,
there
the Royal
we go.
Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that from the very... And it just goes down and down into the city centre towards the West End.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked up those... the steps from Johnston Terrace. They were just absolutely terrible. It really was.
I think we stopped. We were like a couple of... I don't know.
No, that we were walking with people and people were like, I'm going to have a heart attack.
They were so steep. Yeah.
They were so steep. And, you get steep, all this, and then you get to like a little flat part and then, before a second set of steps to go up.
Yeah.
And people were just like, oh, and there was nowhere to sit. They haven't put like benches or anything. So you had to kind of lean against the wall.
And there's so many people.
Yes. And there was toilets there.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and you said, I've got to use the bathroom.
Yeah. So, I was like, well, there's a bathroom here. I want to use the bathroom, like,
yeah,
in case we don't see another one for a while or whatever.
Yeah. So you went into the bathroom. I was just waiting there, and then all of a sudden, this bus load of like tourists get off. All these women, and they just get straight in line for the ooh, and they were like, oh, it's cold, it's freezing. And it wasn't freezing. They were just thin, and they just got. They're just like, oh,
it was windy,
and everybody, because I remember freaking some woman was like messing next to me. She was like waiting for her husband or whatever, messing next to me, and she looked up and she saw the big line. She goes, oh my God, where did they come from?
Yeah, oh yeah, they were all in the bathroom too.
Yeah.
When I came out, I was like, oh, excuse me, can I get out of here, please?
Yeah, I mean they literally took over, and there was a tiny bathroom.
Yeah, but yes, literally. People were like,
oh, they got to the top and they were like, oh God,
like literally gasping and like
their breath, yeah,
chests heaving and everything. It was just like, oh my God,
absolutely, like, oh God. I was like, yeah, and you were like, oh, are you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's like,
but there were a couple of. We made it all the way to the top of the steps, and then you're like, oh, this is a really pretty picture from right here, and then you're like, wait a minute, I think it would have been even better from the first platform down there. So I went back down there to get the picture, and then I had to come back. I was like, I wish I would have taken it while it was still there, but anyway,
you didn't look
it was
around.
Exercise.
It was exercise, yeah, but we just got in. I think there was a big long line to get into the castle.
Yeah.
And there was people who were like, oh, I've got on the app and I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to go. And there was a woman going, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go,
Yeah.
I don't want to go. He was like, I've got on the app. I'll go on the app now. He was like begging her. But yes, I mean, we just looked around at the castle. They were setting up for some event. So they had like
either setting up or taken down. There was crap everywhere. you couldn't really see very well.
They were like, oh, Erica's here. Get this crap out of the way.
And there were people everywhere, and
people were just confused.
Just a lot of confused people. Yeah.
Very confused. Where am I now?
Everybody was just kind of looking around like, what is going on? Because they had a lot of scaffolding up and things blocked off, and just a lot of like construction-y kind of situations going on. I don't know.
Yes, I mean, so we just decided.
So we were like, let's snap a couple of pictures and get out of this area, because
we'll just walk down the Royal Mile.
Yeah.
And there was a bagpiper playing, and we got footage of him.
I think we stopped in a shop right there to get a postcard for one of our patrons.
Yes. Yeah. We did. Did it get to that?
That was a really huge. Oh, I don't know. So many of our. We got postcards on this trip that we sent to our patrons. We collected them very carefully from different places we went along the way. And then once we had enough for each of our patrons, we took them to the post office and sent them out. And I think, like, just the other day or, like, a couple weeks ago or something, somebody was like,
oh, thanks for the
postcard. I got the postcard. Yeah. Oh, I got your postcard. It's like, oh my God.
Finally.
I think one of them didn't get it.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
We're like, did you get it? Did you get it? We didn't want to kind of ask them, did you get it? Because we didn't tell them we were going to send them anyway. It was, like, going to be like, you know.
I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't. You know, I didn't get it. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But yes.
Kind of annoying. But that was a really big store right there that we went in and got that postcard in, like, with all the wool, all the different tartans.
It was classic. The tourists were, you know, just built for the tourists. You know, like everything Edinburgh, Highland cows, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. The castle, you know.
Yes, yeah.
So, we just carried on walking down and we were getting a bit hungry by that time.
We heard bagpipes again.
Bagpipes again, yes.
I think we might have filmed that guy, actually.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I got footage of it.
There were a couple of women with owls on their arms.
Oh, yes.
With the Edinburgh falconry or something like that. And you could
pet them for like £5.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, if you're filming us...
If you're filming us, give us money.
Give us money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we stopped filming.
Yeah, but oh my God, they were very much like cashing in on the Harry Potter Association.
Like, oh, get your owls here.
Yes, yeah.
Hedwig.
But it was cool, I will say. As a big Potterhead, it was.
A big Potterhead. Anyway,
as a Potterhead, it was definitely cool to see that, you know, and with the setting and everything, it was very like And so we're just walking down the Royal Mile and. I mean, literally stopping and taking pictures like every 5 seconds because everything is just so picturesque.
It's just so picturesque.
And I know eventually I'm going to look back at the pictures and go, what was this? What am I taking a picture of here? I don't know what that building is. And I'm going to delete it.
I don't know what
I'm going to delete it. But in the moment, I'm like, yes, I realize I've taken 5,000 pictures, but I don't care.
We
came to regret it after.
Yes.
Eventually, but
yeah. That wasn't that day. I think that was the next day though.
But I think we'd already probably done like, I don't know,
our
10,000 steps. I think we've mentioned before we kept checking our steps on our...
Oh, she loved the steps thing.
On our health app. We were like, just to see how many we were doing because we knew, you know, we were doubling our daily goal pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, let's sit down and just sort of like take in the sights and sounds. Because there were so many people like playing music and just different things going on everywhere. And I think we sat down in front of like the French embassy or some sort of embassy.
Oh, yes.
You remember?
Yeah.
There was like a bench there and we just sat down across from some like old church where people were
St. Giles
paying
Cathedral,
to go in and and it's just like, I don't know, I just love that kind of thing. And if I had all the time in the world, I would definitely go to all these different cities and...
Sit on the bench.
Just sit, just sit. And
sit
just
on the bench and just be all like...
soak up the sights and sounds.
Soaking up the sights.
Yeah.
But then we went into that, I think it was St. Giles Cathedral.
Yeah, I think we did go in it, actually.
I think we managed to go in. And
a lot of these cathedrals...
They were like, oh, it was really pretty. She loves a good church.
They... I want to say they charge, but it's basically just like a donation, just like whatever you can afford, because you know they've got to upkeep these old buildings. But I do love an old church, so
yes.
An old kirk,
yeah.
And that one was just like, I don't know, they're all just so beautiful. You know, you think of these like the main cathedrals, you know, Westminster Abbey, or you know, just some of these like very popular cathedrals that you've heard of your whole life, and they are fabulous, you know, as you expect.
Yeah.
But then there's just churches like this that you haven't heard of, and they're just as freaking cool, just as
yes.
They're also from the Middle Ages or whatever, and they just have so much history, like with the, you know, I don't know, Scottish rebellions or like the
Jacobite rebellion.
You know, just So much history. I don't know. Just fabulous.
I mean, yes. Very fabulous. I think we can leave it there for part 4.
Yeah.
Because I think we've talked your head off right now.
I'm running out of time
here. Running out of time now. We've gone over time, but yeah.
So there will be a part 4.
There will be a part 4, apparently.
Sorry about that.
Where we'll talk about
we definitely will wrap
stuff.
It up.
Yeah, we'll talk about the rest of our trip in part 4, what we ate and everything else. How we rounded it off before we went back to...
back to England. Potential debacle that happened toward the end of... I think toward the end of the next day.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me about that next time.
Or whether it was that same day, I don't know. But yes, I'll have to tell you about it.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You definitely will remember.
I'll remember it.
I'll remind you then.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for that.
Thank you guys.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you guys as always for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. Be sure to give us a follow on social media. If you don't already, we are at TButty, TEABUTTY on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of the places. And we'll talk to you all next time.
Talk to you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.